Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey, sorry about that.
What are we up to? Well, we've been busy.
Yeah, we got a Kickstarter, a Rise of Empire Kickstarter just launched like a little over an hour ago. It's fully funded, already unlocking multiple stretch goals. So if you somehow have not heard of it but are on our stream, then you should definitely go check it out.
I guess we have some. I'm trying to see. Okay, we were so busy. I didn't have time to. Oh wait, I think it was this. No, we didn't have time. Usually we like go through our slides and we like are fully prepared and we have no idea what we have in here today.
So we're just hopping on quick to say hi to everybody. We've
thank you for backing.
Thank you for backing. We funded it in like, I don't know, it's like 15 minutes or something. So that was fantastic. And as I said, multiple stretch goals have already unlocked. I think I actually, when I get done with this stream, I'm going to go post the next one because I think we've passed another threshold on there. We've got some great videos on the page. So basically, Rise of Empire, all the design is done, the development's done. We've, as we've mentioned on here before, we've changed how we're doing Kickstarter. So basically, we're waiting till games are pretty much ready to go to print before we bring them to Kickstarter. We built prototypes of this and send it out to a bunch of press. And Deb's hair is amazing. And sent it out to a bunch of press, and they got to play through. We only gave them the first 4 campaign missions because we didn't want to spoil the whole thing. We got a lot of cool stuff in there for you to discover as you play. But so there's a bunch of preview videos, and there's a complete playthrough of the 4 games on there. From one of the reviewers, and there's more of that is going to come. So you can definitely hop on and check out the Rise of Empire gameplay. But if you play Star Realms at all, you're going to love Rise of Empire. It's crazy fun.
Yeah, we had a quick question. Well, I don't know if any questions are quick when.
Yeah, so we will have add-ons. No, typically what we do is we launch Kickstarter without the add-ons listed, and then we add add-ons, after the first 48 hours when things calm down a little bit on the Kickstarter. So next week, we should have add-ons available on there. Sleeves for sure. Kickstarter exclusives, etc. Hey Joel, how you doing?
Joel. So let's see. We did have a giveaway. So let me say congratulations to Albert for winning the 4 Journeys packs that we had in our last giveaway. And our current giveaway is for Guardians of Goanna. So you can enter to win, for the chance to win this game. This is a newer base set of Epic card game with beautiful art. And we'll post that on our social media channels so that you can get more details on that. And then there were some cards in here, Rob. I don't know if you've already covered these.
So but I can talk about it again. This is a scenario pack from Rise of Empire. So basically, in the Rise of Empire set, you get 12 scenarios in the box set. We actually have a 13th scenario we designed especially for Kickstarter backers. So there is a 13th scenario. It's actually scenario 11.5 in the numbering system. But each of these scenario packs, when you open it up, it has oversized card that tells you the rules for the game, and then it also, and those are double-sided, so you have a different front and back depending on which player won the previous game. And it also might have other cards or basically other stuff in there that affects that particular game. And you play through this series of games, and the decisions you make in early games affect the campaign as you play through it. When you're done with the campaign, you're going to end up with a customized Star Realm set that is fully compatible with all your other Star Realm stuff. So you can play it again and again in its finished form, or you can mix it in with your other stuff. And you can also get the Infinite Replay Kit and reset the campaign to play through multiple times, because the campaign itself is a super fun experience. So you're going to want to play through more than one time. So that's what we made the Infinite Replay Kit for. The Legacy game campaign is not based on the campaign in the app. Rise of Empire actually takes place before the Star Realms base set in the timeline. It's a prequel. So there are no blob. The blobs have not shown up yet. There is no machine cult. They were created in basically when a group got isolated from the rest of humanity by the blob attack. So basically it's a very different market deck. And it consists of 3 new factions: the Kingdom, the Consortium, and the Scavengers. These were factions that were, eventually in the Star Realms timeline, they get wiped out in the Blob invasion. So basically, it's a fun chance to play with sets you've never played with before, and when you're playing, you get to upgrade cards, basically give them either Star Empire or Trade Federation technology, depending on which side you're playing. It's a really cool experience. So these are the sticker sheets with which you can upgrade your cards. And we also, in the Infinite Replay Kit, have pre-upgraded cards. And there's the scenario cards I was talking about. Those are double-sided. You'll notice there's a Star Empire side and a Trade Federation side. So basically, each scenario has different rules depending on who won the previous game. Yet another reason why playing through the campaign more than once is a lot of fun, because hey, there can be scenarios that you haven't played at all, depending on who wins which game.
And Amanda, I don't know if you are going to be at Gen Con, but we will have the Star Realms Rise of Empire at Gen Con, so we can play it with you there.
Yep, we'll have those first 4 games, which we gave to the reviewers. We'll have that at Gen Con for you to check out.
Yeah, we have a meeting calendar, so Derek can get you the info on that if you want to schedule a time. But I hope we see you there. Do Star Empire cards, Star Realms Rise of Empire, trigger with other Star Empire cards?
Yeah, so basically, when you upgrade a card to make it, to give it like your Star Empire technology, you add this sticker to it. And one of the things you're adding is a little multi-faction sticker at the top. So just like we have multi-faction cards, which are in other sets, which are like, oh, it's a Blob Star Empire combo, and it triggers both Star Empire and Blob cards. A upgraded, let's say, Kingdom card that is Star Empire Kingdom, that counts as Star Empire. So if it will trigger other Star Empire cards, ally abilities, and then it, of course, will have its own Star Empire ally abilities, which it needs another Star Empire card to trigger, which could be an upgraded Star Empire card. So it could be like a Consortium Star Empire card that triggers that ally ability. So basically, as you upgrade cards in the set, you're creating a bunch of dual faction cards, which will be Star Empire and one of the 3 factions in the set, or if you're playing Trade Federation, and one of the ones in that set.
Awesome. We also, Christian wanted to know if we are going to have more dungeon spoilers. So actually, can I?
No, go.
I say something? Yeah. We have a new Hero Realms promo card for Gen Con, and we're also going to send some off to the Board Game Geek store. So, and I'm sure we'll be doing a giveaway to give some away as well. And I don't have it today to share on a slide, but next week or between now and next week, we'll post it on social media what the new Hero Realms card looks like. But it's art based on Tanat, which was a character that was developed over the summer Facebook role-playing game where people voted, like, did you want him to be a half demon, or, you know, what was his pet going to be, and those kinds of things. So we will be sharing some new stuff. That's I'm excited about that one particular card. I thought it looks really cool.
Dungeon spoilers in particular, yes, we will eventually do more. They won't be this month because we've got the Star Realms Rise of Empire going. So basically, we'll be focused on promoting the Rise of Empire during that period, and then well, obviously, but as far as like the Dungeons Kickstarter stuff, so. As we mentioned, changed our Kickstarter policy. We're waiting until games are ready to go to print. It happened. We thought Dungeons would be done first. As it happened, Rise of Empire was done first. So that was the Kickstarter we're bringing first. And we've got a ton of Dungeon stuff done. It's awesome, but we're still working on some finishing up several items on it. So that's likely going to be this fall for the Dungeons Kickstarter. But the great thing is, like this, when we do the Kickstarter, the time between when we run the Kickstarter and when you get the product is going to be much shorter. So basically, we tend to like add stuff and tweak, and it'd be cool if we added this additional card and made this new thing for it. So we're getting all that stuff, which really we usually did
not do that
after the campaign. Well, basically, but we're still doing that. It's just we're pushing back the campaign launch date for that instead of the delivery date.
We're happy to hear you hyped.
Yes, yeah, you're gonna love this set. Like a bunch of, we also had several of the community members play. I think they only played the first two scenarios, but we had at Origins we had Rise of Empire prototype there, and let people play through the first couple games. So it wasn't quite to the level that we sent to the press, but it was pretty close. So they got to check it out, and people were loving it. So the change in the play with those upgrading cards is really, really interesting, and every single card on the table at the beginning of the first campaign game having a win acquired mechanic really changes things up. So these new factions, obviously with an entire new market deck with all new factions, it's going to play a little different. But you'll really like it.
Yeah, because someone commented on a post that, it's probably like mostly the same cards. And I was like, oh no, it's not. It's all new.
We do have Scouts and Vipers and Explorers.
But even those have new art.
Yes,
so.
even those and it's really pretty. Yeah, check it out.
Hey, Ruel. Hey. And Ruel's going to be live streaming Rise of Empire. Today at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Awesome. So we'll have to
post that on social media.
And I'll post to the Kickstarter as well. But thank you very much. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, we want to see your pugs.
Oh yeah.
We definitely want to see your pugs. I was interested in getting a pug, but we ended up with a Pomsky, and we love our Pomskys, so. Pugs are one of our Pomsky puppies has a pug sibling. So that's fantastic. So and do you want to post a link to your channel here in the comments, Ruel, so that people have it? But we will post it on social media in the comments on the Kickstarter too. So Ruel got really, really busy playing tabletop games over COVID and like built up an awesome channel where he and Michelle play all kinds of games. There's his channel. So Ruel Gaviola. So thanks for joining the stream too. And Joel is really loving the art. Have you ever thought about selling poster-sized prints? Yes, we have.
The art in Rise of Empire is on a whole nother level. Like the Star Realms art is fantastic in general, but with Rise of Empire, we had our best artists working on it, like some really, really great talent. And each artist got a faction and did every card within that faction. So like all the kingdom cards are done by the same artist, for example. So there's great consistency throughout, and yeah, just really stunning visuals in the Rise of Empire set.
I'm feeling like I'm like a scavenger faction.
Yes.
You know, I've been having this morning where everything's been going crazy. I got the link wrong in the email I sent out, and I spilled my drink all over myself. And yeah,
but you're making it work.
I still was able, yeah. And that, yeah. So, but yeah, so Derek wants more posters. If other people are interested in posters or specific things, you know, let us know those kind of things. This is a great place to let us know, or you can shoot us an email or a message as well. We have thought about a lot of different types of merch that people have asked us about. And we did do some art prints at one point with different pieces of art. I think it was mostly Hero Realms and Epic art. And we tried to put them on the right kind of paper and everything. I think posters are probably a little more forgiving. So Ruel also wants posters. How does one go about finding artists? So
you all, for us at this point, we're a larger company. Artists tend to come to us, but I have started many games from scratch. And early on, I would find artists. There are a lot of art centered websites where basically artists meet and post various pieces of art. And there's a lot of like starting out artists.
Art is a big one.
Yeah, so there's a ton of, so if you Google search, there's a ton of websites, and basically if you find somebody whose art you think looks cool, you can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm doing a game, you know, I'd like to I'd be interested in having some of your art in there. Obviously, if you're starting out, it's hard to pay people a lot, but you could do things like instead of getting all rights to the artwork, you could just get rights to use their artwork in your game, and they could sell it elsewhere as well. Or there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. But generally speaking, reaching out to new artists on a site like DeviantArt is good. That's a nice way to find new artists. You can also obviously contact any artist who you really like their work. But established artists, you know, you're gonna be paying a lot of money per piece. So if your game has a lot of artwork, you probably want to, you know, go a little cheaper on the per piece price. But
yeah, there's a range in the pricing depending, like if someone's not as experienced. And there's also a Facebook group, and off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of it, but if you send me a message personally on Facebook, I can invite you to that group. But if anyone in the chat knows the group I'm talking about, there's a group for tabletop artists and graphic designers. I can't remember the name of it, but it's for specifically people will post things they're looking for, I think, in that group. I'm not super active in that group, but I know there's at least one. There's probably multiple groups like that as well. And there's oftentimes artist areas at game conventions too, like artist alleys where different artists will be there and they show off their work, and it's gorgeous.
And we tend to have tons of artists on our game. Our games are very art centric. We have really big art budgets, and we have tons of art, and we try and have it at a very high level. So it depends on your game. A lot of games will just have one artist, and that's totally great. Other games will have, you know, if you have tons of art, the more art you have, the more artists you typically need to get the things done in a timely fashion. So
yeah, and if you are thinking you want to work with a publisher, then you don't have to have final art in your game design also. So there's like freely available art on the internet that you can also use if you're just doing prototypes. And we do that ourselves. Like when we do prototypes, we don't have fancy art. A lot of times it's hard to read. It's Rob's writing with a Sharpie marker, so you don't even need art. Antonis is fantastic and awesome, and he's our lead artist.
So I'm gonna have to cut this stream short in that I've got to jump back onto the Kickstarter and post comments and updates, etc. We've got to stretch goals, completed to post and such. But we will. You can message me questions about the Rise of Empire Kickstarter there. And what was the person asking about art? You can
so about art budget. If you send me a message, or Darwin's our art director as well, but I can point you to some
basically maybe if you email Rob at wisewizardgames.com, we could I could give you, maybe we could set up a time to talk or whatever. I can give you some pointers off stream. Awesome.
Yeah. When are you going to be streaming Star Realms next, Rob?
Oh boy, I've been busy, but we've got awesome people streaming the games. I do play and jump. Honestly, I've been playing a little more Hero Realms recently. I've got a wizard who I've been having a ton of fun with, but I do play Star Realms. So you can always throw me a challenge. But yeah, I'm not sure when the next time I'm gonna be streaming this.
Yeah, his username's pretty easy to remember.
No, I see a question on the Nova Collection. Nova Collection is done, printed. We are currently working to get a book, shipping containers to ship them to to the various parts of the world to get them to you guys. So that is.
Sorry, we had an additional computer on here and we got muted accidentally. So Rob, all that stuff you just said,
it was brilliant what I said. You may have missed it, but so I think the question was on the Deluxe Nova. Deluxe Nova is done at the factory. We are in the process of getting it onto shipping to get that to the various regions of the world to get it into backers' hands. So the Deluxe Nova, we have a factory copy with us. We brought it to Origins. It's gorgeous. So we're super happy with it. We're just in the process of booking the shipping to get it out to the various parts of the world so we can get it into the backers' hands. So coming.
Hey, Desto. And I didn't say hi. Eduardo said hi earlier. I just wanted to really quickly answer the question. Someone asked, I think they're referring to Rise of Empire, if it's going to come to, I think it was Arturo, whether it's going to come to the digital. So we don't have plans right now for it to come to digital. And what we did with Hero Realms was we had campaigns in digital, but they're different so that you can play the campaigns with the physical game and play digital campaigns, and with some similar experience, but all new storylines and such. So I don't know if that's
basically
that would be my guess. But
there's Rise of Empire content, like the new factions and all those sorts of things. That stuff will definitely come to digital at some point. As far as the Rise of Empire 2-player campaign experience, that's very different from what the app currently does. So that probably won't come to the Star Realms app. It's possible we might make a app specifically devoted to playing through that campaign experience. Maybe not. But the new factions and stuff you will eventually see in the Star Realms set. And the great thing about those is because they have win acquired abilities and their ally abilities are not a big deal. They're pretty weak ally abilities. Their main thing on these new factions is they do something when you acquire them. They mix in nicely with other sets. So that works out really well. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off.
Yeah. So thanks, Rob, for I know you're super busy keeping up with all the comments and everything. So thank you, everyone. If you backed the campaign, we really appreciate it. And thanks for joining the stream.
Yeah.
It's a little hectic because when we launch a Kickstarter, we get a lot of messages, a lot of comments and things like that. So about that. Pilot, I have no idea. So other questions, and the Spanish question, we have a partner that does our Spanish translations, but I can ask them about promo cards because we do provide our promo cards to our partners, and they often do translate them into different languages. So we could see about getting printing some of them for the US as well. But yeah, so thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thanks,
and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.